Hi YouTube, it's me again, Dave Lawton. In this video I'll be demonstrating some of the processes and explaining as best I can how we plan some of our exterior projects using different materials, and we're going to try and break it down into a series of smaller episodes to make it a bit easier for you to follow along. First thing you need to do is, go to site and take a good look around. Take some photographs, have a look at the mouldings, see what's there, look at the details. Most of them are quite repetitive on an exterior of a building, so if there's something you can take examples of, windows or, crown mouldings, plinths, try and take as much records of them as you can. Best to take a sketchbook and just make a quick sketch of what you see, what's there, what's missing, what you're there to actually achieve, and, a bit more information about the building. You can see here we've made a rough sketch. It's showing the basic shape. It's a terraced kind of looking building. It's showing some of the different courses of stone and different courses of stucco work. Wrote some notes along the side and also indicated where the cracks and some of the vegetation are growing from. Keep hold of your notes, make a copy of them with your phone, take a picture. Keep hold of them because you can always refer back at a later stage. These projects can go on for a long time, so if you notice that there's an issue with a downspout that's causing damp, write that down, mark it out on your drawing, and keep the drawings right through the project in a file. Look into the history of the building and look into find out who built the building, what year it was built. Try and find out as much information as you can, any alterations that have happened, or modern interventions, cement and paint, what coatings are on now, what's the expected finish to be. We looked back through a long history in our jobs and we try to make sure we get the materials analysed. We found old text in a poem that indicated the finish on a building in Liverpool that we're really glad we found. That proved something for us once. But you need to really know exactly what era it is you're looking at, what kind of architectural details, what materials we use, going to help you with the matching and the repairs. Any building that's been modernised and changed, had coatings applied, you need to know what era you're matching to, because you're putting it back to the original, you're going back to another period in time when it was modernised. You need to make a plan. You need to start getting a detailed plan. Copy across your old notes, your old plans. Start to do things to scale, take some real scale drawings. Notice the different profiles and maybe even start to number them at this stage. You need to work out what's new and what's missing, what's a previous repair. Look out for drip members, any other architectural details, any modern interventions. Can be as clear as you can with your plan. Date it and keep it in your folder. Transfer any notes from your original plans over to these plans and keep them all in order in a file. You're going to refer back to these. Projects change all the time. From the plan and following some of the later videos, you'll have to work out where your screeds and your rules are going to be set. These need to be consistent, they need to be marked on the plan. If you can work to brick joints, that's the safest way. If you're hacking off back to the old, you can see the existing mortar joints and you're working everything to brick joints, you can knock nails, pins, whenever you need into them. Easy to measure, you don't need to tape measure on site. The Sunday School, the 18th century building in Liverpool, the former Sunday School in Rodney Street, we were lucky enough to be working on a building next door. Whilst we were given the opportunity to record profiles and take our notes and make our initial assessments 2 years before we actually started that building. It had to be rebuilt in reclaimed brick and lime mortar, and that was a further 18 months before we got onto site, which was nice. We got involved in that a little bit as well, with setting it out and stuff. But had we not been in, made a plan, took measurements, would have made our job a lot more difficult trying to put it back together. There were 36 profiles on that one. Recording profiles, there are several ways to do it. A preferred method to us, if it's a building particularly of this condition that we're able to take a sample, is we'll physically cut a piece of the sample and a small amount of substrate, the brickwork, away. We'll take a thin slice of that and we'll put it into a digital scanner, scan it into a computer, then we'll trace around the object. It gives us a better chance to magnify the image and look at some of the makeup, the aggregate size and the thicknesses, and it means that we can then make a clear of the profile and cut that out of our zinc using a CNC machine. It just makes our workflow a lot easier. I'll show you some of that. Whether you're making your copies digital or you're tracing them using a tracing method, you've got a copy just to make sure. It just keeps the process streamlined. You don't want anything to slow you down in this. It's slow enough.